Let's see. Oh. Okay, Colleen, can you hear me now? I did test this yesterday, but all right, guys. You're going to be my test. Let's see if we Okay, how's that? Okay, Jamie hears me. Does everybody else hear me? We have sound. Okay, I think it just came loose. So, I don't know. This might not be exciting to you, but I have one, two. This is my little room. My sewing studio, classroom studio, is the size of a guest room. Oh yes, it used to be my guest room. Well, so what are we looking at? Like 11 by 11 or 11 by 12 or something like that. Well, in this space, now I'm not going to turn it around and show you because it's messy, although it's getting a little better. I have two laptops, one, two, three cameras, multiple lights, two monitors, and a TV. Now the TV I don't use for the classes. We tried that. Oh, sounds not strong. Well, I don't know what else to do. Hopefully everybody else can hear. I've got it turned on all the way. Let me push this door shut. Okay. And see if that makes any difference. So, anyway, and maybe I have to rework some things again. Mike and I was adding on. Okay, great. Linda can hear me. Must be because Linda's in Florida and poor Colleen's all the way out in California. Could be that the sound has to travel a long way, but I'll try to speak up. Okay, and Eileen, okay, she's kind of close too. So I just thought that I would just kind of share that with you. But it was a little bit exciting because when we were playing around, I've got the camera. So let me just see. Hopefully it's not too messy. I've got camera 1, which is the one I look at. Then I have camera 2 sitting over there. It is focused down on the machine. We move things so that when we do a demo, you can actually see the machine and the needle. And when I'm doing, see right there, you can see it. So that's pretty cool. Then we have camera 3. Of course, it's messy right at the moment, but that's my table where I do my cutting and show you guys and demo and have that, all set up. But what we figured out is camera 4. What is so special about camera 4? Well, it's really not a camera. What it is how many times we have our software programs, and some of them work with Macs and some of them work with PC. Well, Quilter Select and Embellish Maker and all of those programs from R&K Embellish only work on a PC. So we had to figure out, because I would shoot the camera over there and show it to you and it would be backwards. Well, look, now we have it. I know, Jamie, I love it too, because I just pulled this up. This is just one of the pages, but now I can put something up on the other screen and actually show you. So we're just going to play a moment. I think we are, just because we can. Let's see. So I have Embellish Maker down here, and I have my Quilter Select. And every time you open it, you have this front page that tells you, gives you options of things to do. So we could open a design. Oh, let's see. I don't know. We're just going to open something just because we can. Look, you guys can see it. So I can actually demo and do something and show you, and you can see it on the computer. Yay! That's kind of exciting. So Um, some days it doesn't take a whole lot to get me excited. What can I say? I did want to share that with you. I thought it was kind of cool. So Mike helped me with that yesterday. We did whoops, I gotta open the door again. Sorry, my buddies are outside, meaning outside the room. So I guess what I'm trying to say is no matter how big or how small a space you have in your house, you can turn it into your studio. You can have a sewing studio that is no bigger than a closet because that's all the space you have. We're still going to call it a studio because a studio just sounds so much more sophisticated, I guess, than saying, I got a sewing room, or sewing in my spare room, or I only have a closet, or my sewing machine sits on my dining room table. Who cares? From now on, we are going to call it our studio. Yes, Colleen, it is. It is a new tool. And actually, all I needed was to ask Mike if we could do it, because, he helps me with that, and an HDMI cable, because I already had 4 ports. So I got this little box that has four ports in it. So, what I'm thinking is if I go somewhere and I want to have a class, I could technically, by taking that box and a couple things, I could technically set up a little mini classroom, mini sewing studio in my motorhome. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So anyway, that's I wanted to just share that with you. It got close to 1 o'clock, and I thought, oh gosh, what are we going to talk about today? I've been doing so many things, but not really something to demo or exciting to share with you. So we had a great class on Friday. The Treats for My Boo. Everybody had a great class. If you were in there, today's the last day to get your orders in. If you missed it and you want it, hurry up and call Mike, because we'll be sending back. We had a couple extra kits. We'll be sending those back. We don't keep any of that stuff around. But we had a great time. Everybody learned. In fact, let me just show you my box, because the reason I want to show it to you and what makes it look something maybe different than somebody else's is we all did this. But inside, if you order these folding totes, you get a practice piece. So you don't have to worry about spending the money on the tote and then thinking, oh my gosh, I'm scared, I'm going to mess it up. Every one of them has a little 4x6 piece that you can stitch on. Stitching using the same stabilizer, same thread, same. So that you practice before you actually make the design. Because the one thing stitching on leather is if you have to rip it out from Jack the Ripper, you have holes. Okay, the holes don't go back together. So there are holes in your project. So anyway, we did this. We worked with the little fringy stuff, making some shredded fringe like we're doing on the Falling for Autumn. We did she's got her little bun on the top of her head there. We stitched out the practice piece, and just because I wanted to try it, I stitched mine on the back. But what I did different than some others is I left the top open. So now you have a pocket. So we have the design on the front, and on the back side you have the pocket. So just a little cutesy thing. You can do that with all kinds of other designs. It only takes a 5x7 hoop to stitch on this. It's stitched when it's flat, and then you put it down and you top stitch all the way around to hold it together. If it's for a holiday, when you're done, you fold it up and put it away. Right now they only come in black. Oh, Linda added hers as a pocket too. Yeah, I just thought, let me try. Now, a couple of things. When we did the class, they put in needles that we could use. I will tell you, that I used. I had a new needle, 7511, and that's what I used to stitch my whole project. Now I've since gotten rid of it and put a new needle in. Slow things down. Use your water-soluble stabilizer on top and take your time. Okay, and that was, from in the class, but that's just working with leather in general. We also made the little Hocus Pocus, I Need Candy to Focus, little pockets. And the little gift pockets are not this one, but there is a CD with the designs with the gift pockets. That's a Kimberbell product. This one, of course, they're big into their background quilting now, so we did the background quilting. And then I have to show this to you because it was just cute. We did the spider, the spider in class. There's also a little Frady cat. But these are jar toppers. This is something new that Kimberbell has brought out. And they just brought out, ouch, a whole package. Well, I would show you if mine hadn't disappeared. Nope, there they are. I try to have the stuff handy. The jar toppers also work with the little wooden frames, and the jar toppers come in 2 sizes, so they work in the frames. This is the one that's coming out soon. That's for the holiday. I think it comes out next week. Yes. Auto ship on the 16th, so it'll be, about the 3rd week of the month or the following week that we actually get them. If you're interested, you can pre-order. These guys, the designs come in the boy-girl, so you've got the girl, you've got the boy version, you've got the snowman, you've got Mrs. Snowman. They come in 2 sizes. The smaller ones, like you saw on the jar topper, or the larger ones that work with the wide mouth jars, or the frames. And there are tags, and what's cool about the tags, you can stitch down the tags, is you can also use the method of putting the vinyl on top and write the name on. It can be wiped off and reused. So let's see, saving the landfill because we're recycling, using the same thing over again because we're recycling. That's pretty cool. So these are coming, they'll be here next week. So let me see, unless you've got some comment from Kimberbell, I'm going to move on because I've got other fun things to tell you about. Falling for Autumn this week, DDE, Dealer Digital Exclusive, and here it is. We're going to be making this little, this is the larger size. This is like a snack bag size. It comes in 2 sizes. Why did the apple stop running? And I just have mine tucked in the top. And it says because it ran out of juice. So this is what we're going to be doing on Thursday. So that's our little project. You've got your stuff in there. We'll go over all the instructions and everything. That's the DDE on Thursday afternoon. And our Kimberbell Cuties with the sunflower. It's really, really a cute one. We're going to be doing that on Friday. All right. Then got a bunch of stuff posted on my calendar here. Next week is our table runner. Our Bijou Wonder, we're working on that. The Snippets Block of the Month quilt. If you're interested in a block of the month, if you're interested in making a quilt that's sewing and you don't want to embroider, you don't have an embroidery machine, or you do and you just want to do sewing and piecing, hurry up and sign up. We've got a few spaces left. We're going to be making this over the course of the next 6 months. And yes, if you have a sewing machine, you know how to thread it, you can sew a straight line or close to it, or we'll help you with it. You can do this. We will help you. We also record our classes so you get them afterwards for all eternity. So you can go back and look over them again. Something really exciting, if you haven't been on and haven't heard about it yet, is our Hoop Sisters Facebook event. That is going to be Monday, August the 21st through and Tuesday, August 22nd. It's going to be on Facebook. You don't have to leave your sewing studio. You don't have to have a machine. You don't have to have a kit. You don't have to write a check. You don't have to use a charge card to sign up. It's free. You do have to sign up because that's the only way you're going to get the access code to get into the Facebook group. This is something new that we're doing with Hoop Sisters. They're doing most of the work because I don't know what they're doing. They do posts. There'll be a trunk show, and it's all going to be done remotely. So you guys can sit down with your cup of coffee, your tea. You don't have to get up at the crack of dawn. You can check in later. You don't have to be on all day for 2 days and sit there. You won't miss a thing. It's set up so you can come into the group multiple times during the day and see what's going on. There'll be some demos. There'll be, I think, some prizes, some giveaways, lots of different things, specials and promotions, and show you some different materials and things. So I signed up for a couple of their projects, newest ones, new releases coming, which means we know what they are first. And I'm going to finish this one up today. I know I am because I started it and I've got it running while I'm doing other things. And actually, they sent this one to me by mistake because I had ordered something different. And then they said they would send it back. And I said, oh, no. Just leave it here. Winter Greens. Hoop Sisters, Winter Greens. Their project comes in this nice package with a USB stick, which is really cool because it's labeled. Mine's in my machine right now, but it's labeled, so you don't have to do anything. It's already labeled. And there's 2 different styles. There's the square one and the round one. It comes in to fit a 5x7 hoop. Size. I'm sorry. 5x7 size or 7x7. So you have 2 different styles. 5-inch blocks makes 19.5 by 19.5. 7-inch makes 27.5 by 27.5. So what, 19.5 is a great pillow size or a great table topper? I still can't, or a little wall hanging. So that's the size, and I'm going to show you the pieces because I like to share. All right. They have a product that they use that's called Battleizer. And I know some of you have seen it or familiar because you've told me. In fact, if you've ever used their Battleizer and you like it, would you give us a thumbs up or make a comment? That would be great. But it's called Battleizer. You know, Battleizer? Just what the heck is that? I'm thinking of something really heavy duty and thick and foam because, no. Battleizer is, let me grab my pieces because I've got them cut. It is batting and stabilizer, hence for batting, stabilize because it stabilizes, Battleizer. And you don't need any other stabilizer, so it's a different method and a different technique, which is really cool. So this is a tile, I guess kind of like a tile seam. I don't have any of them cut yet. But look, all I did was I pre-cut my Battleizer instead of my stabilizer, instead of the tack down, instead of the trim, instead of the batting. That's what the whole thing goes on. And then, well, what the heck is that? Well, that's part of it because all of these will be trimmed down and pieced together and sewn together. So that's this is just one of the different blocks. I'll just show you a couple of them because I've got that goes in. There we go. So all of these will make sense hopefully tomorrow. And then there's even, down to look at the detail. That has the berries, and I chose blueberries instead of red berries. And down in that corner is a little piece of white fabric. So when all of this is said and done and they're put together, it's going to be phenomenal. And then I'm going to show you how to use, they have a special ruler, a special tool. I got this and I thought, wow, I love this. Trimmer by George. You use a 60 millimeter rotary cutter, and it helps you once you're done with your batting and you have to start trimming. There's a method that you use. It's not difficult, but there's a method that you use with this trimmer to trim your blocks and to hold your fabric out of the way so you can trim the battleizer, stabilizer behind it, and not the fabric. So we're going to be learning. Oh, my nose is itching. It's got something fuzzy up my nose. We're going to be learning more details. Now, you know, I share with you as I go through and play around with it and learn. This other one, and this was one that I told them that I wanted because I thought it would be really cool, is the nesting baskets. Take a look at this. And notice that the designs, I did get fuzz up my nose. The label, it's labeled. It's not on a CD. Nothing you have to transfer or download. You can take this and put it directly into your machine. Now I do back it up because I just do. And you can print the instructions if you want, or what I did, and here it even shows you inside. They've got a little code here that shows you a demo on the trimmer, and it tells you what other, of course, what other supplies that you need, and what size hoop and all that kind of good stuff. But this has different size baskets, so you could make a whole set. I'm thinking in your bedroom, your bathroom, in your motorhome, kids' school supplies, all kinds of cool stuff. So I'm going to be making a sample and sharing that with you. And did I do it? Oh yeah, what I liked about this one, and I'll show you what I did. This is my little hint for the day, okay? This is my hint for the day for everybody that uses, okay, Linda's got it and she loves it. Okay, great. The, thread colors. This little sheet tells you what color to use for your holly leaves, matching your fabric, lighter and darker. And it doesn't say you have to have brand XYZ number 1, 2, 3 color. It just tells you brown, green. So what I did was I just made my own little cheat sheet and wrote down holly leaves. Okay, what 2 colors I planned on using in the holly leaves. Very simple. Wrote it down, celery, aloe. Those are the 2 colors. So every time I got to one of those blocks, I knew which colors I needed to pick up. So that's just an easy way to do things, but that's what I did. So just my little helpful hint of the day. So I will show this to you. This is a new design. We're going to have the newest stuff before it comes out to everybody else. So you'll want to make sure to stay tuned, and definitely, we have, I think, about between 50 and 60 people already signed up to do the Facebook group or the Facebook event. So again, if you've never heard of Hoop Sisters, sign up. It's not going to cost you anything. Of course, like everything else, and we know they'll show you something just like I do. I show you something that I have that I like and I use, and then you want it. That's okay. You can certainly do that, but nobody's going to twist your arm. It's another one of our give back type of things. And there's a trunk show, and when you see a trunk show and you see stuff that you like, you want to make it, we'll have that we'll have that stuff available. So go ahead if you're interested. If you're not interested, don't do it. Don't show up. It's up to you. I want everybody to come, but I'm not forcing anyone. So go ahead and get registered for it. You'll get a link to the Facebook prior to, and it's going to run all day Monday, all day Tuesday, but again, you don't have to be there all the time. You can just pop in and out. So it's great for all of you that work during the day. You check it on your lunch hour, check it at the end of the day. You're not missing anything. They're going to do surveys and ask little questions. They like to do stuff like that, just fun stuff. And it's going to be, I'm sure it's going to be very educational because they've been around for a while. And to be honest, there was a Hoop Sister, couple Hoop Sister designs when we bought the store. Yes, you will be able to get those at a good discount if you're interested. But there were a couple of them when we bought the store, and I didn't know anything about it, so I just kind of put it to the side. Since then, and I determined that I'm going to make one. I'm going to work with this and see. I was so excited that I had to get busy on it this weekend. So while I'm busy doing all kinds of other things, I've got it up on my screen. Back to why I love having 2 machines, 2 monitors, 2 computers, all of this stuff that we keep adding in my little teeny tiny room so that we can come to you in a small fashion, nothing like the bigger people that have multiple people and can turn this camera, that camera, and whatever. Sometimes we have technical difficulties, like you guys have to tell me that you can't hear me. Well, in changing out, one of the plugs was loosened, so glad we got that all straight. Okay, does anybody have anything else? Remember, something that you're grateful for every day. Just one thing. You can share it if you want. You don't have to share it. It's a personal thing, but just something that you can be grateful for. It will turn your day around. And I'll tell you just as a little story or just a little aside. And some of you know where I go and some of you don't. It doesn't really make any difference. Went to the pool to swim this morning. I swim and I swim long and I swim my whole workout. And the water's very warm. And we'll have people that'll complain about whatever, whatever. They'll complain. It's too hot, it's too cold, it's too this, it's too that. And I just let it all go around, and I was sitting there after my swim just watching them and kind of hearing that they were grumbling about something or other. And so I just piped up and said, isn't it great that we can be so thankful that we have a place that we can come and swim? Wow. You should just hear, if you do something like that and just say something positive out loud, all of the negativity will just kind of dissipate and just, they'll get quiet. It'll just fall away. You can diffuse so many things just by saying something positive. Okay. So, Jamie, what's your favorite lighting in your studio? Oh my gosh, Jamie, I have lights everywhere. Overhead, I actually have, you can get these anywhere. It's a screw-in LED lights that go in my ceiling fan. So that's the one that's overhead. That's the brightest overhead. And if you've got a question about that, you can ask Mike. I have a couple OttLights. I really like those. They're old. I've had them for a long time. One's on the floor, and I can twist it around. Actually, I must have 1, 2, 3 in here. The one that you see back there by my little mannequin, that's one that I've had for a long time. It's an OttLight, and I think those are LED lights. They bend on the neck, so you can bend them around. But I'll tell you something that I really do like, and I know Linda's got one, and Colleen, is this one right here. You can see it. This one. Let me turn it on, because I don't always keep everything on all the time. This one, and you can see if I turn it around, it's got the ring. So it's a ring of lights. And you can change the color depending on what you're doing. If you need to see how white it got. Yeah, it might be hard for you to see. I'm going to try to make a video on it. But you can make it brighter or darker. It has the advantage that it has a magnifying glass in it too. So if you need to, the lighting works perfect over top trying to cut your appliques, black and white black on black, white on white, blue on blue, those colors that are hard to see because it shines right down. It also magnifies. So yeah, it is a great light with a magnifying glass. We've got those in at the shop. They're in a small, show you, they're in a small box. So you can ship them all over the place, and they're USB. It plugs into any USB port. So what does that mean? You can plug it into your machine. You've got a USB port. It clips on the side of your table. It illuminates. It's great for crafting, cutting, embroidery, sewing. Oh, I'll tell you what I used it for the other day. Here's a good one for you. Okay, I was going to share this the other day and I didn't. But I do have to share this with you because, things happen. You can't hardly see it now, but right here on my hand, I was helping Mike move something and I got a splinter. And man, that splinter hurt. And it was Saturday night and I was trying to get that splinter out. And we all go for the needle or whatever. And I thought, wait a minute. I came into the light, turned it on, stuck my hand under the magnifier. Remember those Kimberbell, teeny weeny tiny, see how pointed those little points are? Well, underneath that light, I could get this down really close and I pulled my splinter out. So see, I guess it could be for medical procedures. I don't know. But yeah, I used it to get a splinter out. So it came in handy for that. But that is just to show you that you can get into, tiny little details of things that you need to pick out. So whether it's stitching or your stabilizer or anything like that. So yes, it is a really nice light. I really, really like it. I have another ring light that actually has another gooseneck on that I can put my phone on to use that as a camera. Again, Facebook Live, on the road. So splinters, yes, John gets them. Absolutely, I bet he does from working outside. I helped Mike move a pallet out of the back of the truck. So, and I didn't know it till a couple hours later. And don't you know, as soon as I found it is when it started to really sting and burn and we weren't home. And I had to wait till we got home to do it. But yeah, those little tweezers, absolutely. And that's the ones that are in the Kimberbell. So never just think that whatever it is that you buy only has one purpose. You can do multiple things, and that just justifies why you need it, right? So with that being said, today's Tuesday, tomorrow is Wednesday, of course, the 9th. We are falling for autumn from 2 to 4 tomorrow afternoon. So hopefully, while I'm cutting kits and doing other things this afternoon and preparing for the rest of the week's classes, I can get this embroidery. I have 4 more blocks to do, which are the center blocks, which is, if you look at this, see the ones right there in the center with the pine cones? That's the 4 I have left to do. So I get those 4, then we can trim them up and sew them together, and you'll be able to see the finished project. Wasn't as impressed when I first looked at it. It comes in round and the square. I decided to do the square. I just thought that was really cool. Teresa, you work on whatever block you want tomorrow on Falling for Autumn. If you guys, anybody out there that's doing Falling for Autumn, and you have a specific question on a specific block for tomorrow, email me or put a message here so that I know. I had questions last week, so I went directly to that so I can address it. But this is, if you've got something you want to see tomorrow, let me know. Otherwise, you are welcome to work on any block that you want. Okay? Let's see. Yes, Jamie, I think you do need that. Like I said, it's great. And I think Rita said she was afraid she was going to lose it to her husband. I would say get 2. Get 1 for your husband. Great gift for the guys. Because I told Mike to use one at the store. Anytime you need that extra light, nice and bright, and you can adjust it. It also adjusts lighter and darker, and the magnifier. And that means that magnifier will work on any of your machines. We had magnifiers for some of the bigger machines that clipped in. Well, this clips onto your sewing table, so therefore it would work with any of your machines. Okay? Okay, go ahead and get your fabric cut out. Thank you, Colleen. Appreciate that. I will see you guys, ladies, gals, whatever, gentlemen, tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Make it a great afternoon, and don't forget, go sew something and write down one thing, not a list, just one thing that you are grateful for today. It will make you smile, guaranteed.